The big one's taking too long.
No.
No, that was too late. Okay, ready. Yeah. That's how a professional gets off. Okay.
Okay.
That's when we're going to the market.
Hi.
And that's Stephen.
And that's the sea.
And that's the sea. And that's how close we sit to the window. What? Is it where we walked the other day?
Oh, I said that,
Yes,
I
but
don't
it's-
know. I've got time to now.
But we won't,
In the back.
see, but
I'll be
It's
in
further up.
Lanzarote tomorrow morning. You want to go out tonight? Here? Do you prefer to go to Paris? I think I do. Do you? Because there's more shops in Paris. There's not as many cool parts. That's where you go,
it's further we walk.
Even further than
Yeah,
this.
because the hotels is over there.
Oh, those are newer houses. They have roof.
I think this is a bit where they say it gets a bit desolate. People turn back.
Walk down this road.
Oh, okay. Oh yes.
This is look, there's the
There's another building.
there's the other
Below.
building.
No, I told you we had to come this way. You made me come that way.
So it doesn't seem bad, does it? Doesn't seem bad.
Okay.
No, it doesn't seem far with bus.
Right? What do you need to plan?
That's where we
That's where we went, yeah.
No. I know. I was just looking oriental.
That's how close the window is.
A little bit about it already before. It's a lovely volcanic rock that we're on right now. So Lanzarote is the most easterly and northerly of the Canaries and is the sunniest and the driest of the islands, and its beaches are among the best, with pale sands that in ages past were blown over from the Sahara in Africa, just 60 miles away. However, Lanzarote offers much more than that, thanks to a volcano called Timon Fire, which I'm sure lots of my guests have been to see already, and a man called Cesar Manrique. Both the man and the volcano have made this into a special land of huge contrasts. A quarter of Lanzarote's land area is a volcanic wasteland with its own harsh, fascinating beauty. The rest of the island is quiet and rural and dotted with numerous curiosities formed by the volcanic past. Around the sheltered southern shores, tourism has flourished, such as all the resorts, such as Costa Teguise, Puerto del Carmen and Playa Blanca. Yet, due to the restraining influence of the artist Manrique, development has been carefully controlled. In 1993, the whole island of Lanzarote, including all its towns and villages, was declared a UN Biosphere Reserve in recognition of its unique character and the harmony between man and nature on the island. So, Timanfaya, the volcanic mountain Timanfaya, stands at 510 metres or 1,673 feet high, and it dominates the western skyline of Lanzarote. It's responsible for all the bizarre landscapes of the 200 square kilometres Parque Nacional de Timanfaya, which is the national park. And this is the Lanzarote Malpais, which means the Badlands, where human life is all but impossible. Though it is snoozing at the moment, very much dormant or semi-active, mighty Timanfaya is still alive. It last blew its top 250 years ago, blasting a large part of Lanzarote into an awesome landscape of black and twisted rock. Today, the ground at the summit, if you've been up you'll already know, is still warm to the touch, with a temperature of over 600 degrees Celsius just below the surface. Cesar Manrique, the gentleman we talked about, the architect, few individuals have had as much influence on the culture of a place as Cesar Manrique has had on his native Lanzarote. He was born in Arrecife on the 24th of April 1919, and the young Cesar lived in the capital until his family moved to the north coast when he was a teenager. His exceptional artistic talent was apparent from an early age, and in 1945 Manrique left Lanzarote to take up an art scholarship in Madrid, going on to live in New York, returning in 1968 to his beloved Lanzarote. Back at home again, Manrique became fascinated by the landscape as a medium of art. The island's governing council gave him a free hand to use his creativity to turn the island's natural wonders into the best tourist attractions. His work includes the Timanfaya developments, the Jameos del Agua, which is the King's Pool in the north where the albino crabs are, Mirador del Rio, which is the lookout point on the northern tip of the island, and many other sites as well. Cesar Manrique was also preoccupied with the potential of tourism for good or harm, and successfully argued for strict measures to protect Lanzarote's fragile environment and culture. His greatest legacy by far was a law that all new buildings on the island must be low-rise and traditional in design. The walls must be white, the exterior woodwork green or plain varnished wood, or blue by the sea. The visual effect is astonishing, especially if you've been to Arrecife and you've been up the Grand Hotel from the 17th floor, because the island has these regulations, as I saw a few weekends ago again for the 100th time this season. It's absolutely beautiful. You can see down to Puerto del Carmen, you can see over to the sand dunes in Fuerteventura. It's absolutely lovely. Cesar Manrique also built his own remarkable home in volcanic rock, 6 kilometres inland from Arrecife. Outside is one of the most impressive of his colourful mobiles, which he has erected at key road junctions around the island. Unfortunately, Cesar Manrique did pass away in a car accident near to his house in 1992, but his influence continues to ensure that Lanzarote is known as the Canarian island with style. So, as we are off on the way to Teguise and we're not far away now, Teguise was founded in the 1400s and remained Lanzarote's capital for centuries, and acquired several imposing buildings in Grand Colonial Spanish style. They survive to this day, although Teguise is now just a small and peaceful country town, albeit with an almost African flavour. Every Sunday morning, it springs to life as its narrow white cobbled streets and squares are packed with thousands of visitors for the weekly market. The market itself has a bit of an exotic touch about the morning arts and crafts, and it fills almost every one of the town's narrow lanes. Among the thousands of visitors and stallholders from other islands, there are many who have come over from West Africa, including musicians and entertainers. Local performers sometimes play folk music on traditional Canarian instruments. As well, just as a little extra touch, at about 11 o'clock, if you make your way to the square, they normally have typical Canarian dancing in costume. It's really fab to go and watch. My favourite part of the market by far is the food tent area, always. One of the main things that you'll see around Lanzarote in general on the Canaries is mojo, which is a uniquely Canarian phrase on the island, and is a sauce. So we often serve with grilled or fried fish, roasted meats, boiled vegetables.